The silent invasion. The first signs came on an ordinary Tuesday. Satellite communications flickered briefly across the globe, dismissed as solar flare activity. Power grids in 17 major cities experienced momentary disruptions, but backup systems engaged instantly. Nothing to worry about, the authorities said. Just routine technical glitches in an increasingly complex world. Captain Maya Chen knew better. As head of Earth's Strategic Defense Initiative, she had spent the last decade preparing for a day she hoped would never come. At 38, she had climbed through military ranks with a singular focus that had earned her both respect and resentment. In her modest office at the SDI headquarters beneath the Rocky Mountains, she studied the global anomaly reports with growing concern. "They're testing our systems," she muttered, eyes fixed on the holographic display. Lieutenant James Reeves, her second in command, leaned over her shoulder. "Ma'am, we've been monitoring space anomalies for decades. This could just be." "It's not cosmic background radiation, Lieutenant." Maya zoomed in on a particular data set. "Look at the pattern. It's too precise, too methodical. Someone's probing our defenses." Before Reeves could respond, the emergency alert blared through the complex. Maya's wristcom flashed with a priority message from NORAD. Her blood ran cold as she read it. "Multiple unidentified objects have breached our outer solar system. They're moving fast, too fast for any known propulsion system." Within an hour, the world knew. 7 massive ships, each the size of Manhattan, had entered Earth's orbit. They positioned themselves strategically around the planet, maintaining perfect formation. No communication, no demands, just silent, looming presence that cast literal and figurative shadows over humanity. The United Nations Security Council convened an emergency session. Military forces worldwide went to death's yawn too. Social media exploded with panic, conspiracy theories, and doomsday predictions. Religious leaders called for calm while privately preparing for the end times. Maya was summoned to Washington, D.C., where she now stood in the White House Situation Room, surrounded by the President, Joint Chiefs, and various intelligence directors. The tension was palpable as they watched footage of the alien vessels. "These ships could have destroyed us already if that was their intention," Maya stated flatly. "They'd want something else." "How can you be so certain?" asked the Secretary of Defense, a man who had never hidden his skepticism of Maya's appointment. "Because they're communicating now," she replied, nodding toward the communication officer who had just received an incoming transmission. The message was brief and transmitted simultaneously to every electronic device on the planet. It appeared in whatever language the viewer understood, suggesting a technology that could interface directly with human consciousness. "People of Earth, we are the Azrathi Collective. Your planet has been selected for integration. Resistance is futile and will result in planetary sterilization. You have 48 hours to surrender your governing authority. This is not negotiable." Silence fell over the Situation Room. The President, a former diplomat with 20 years of international crisis experience, looked older than his 60 years. "Options?" he asked simply. The military response was predictable. Immediate offensive action using nuclear weapons. The diplomatic corps suggested attempting communication. Intelligence recommended gathering more information before committing to any course. Maya remained silent, her mind racing. Something about the message struck her as odd. The phrasing, the ultimatum, it felt rehearsed, almost theatrical. As if the Azrathi were playing a role they had performed many times before. "Captain Chen." The President's voice pulled her from her thoughts. "You've been uncharacteristically quiet." "Sir, I believe we have an option that hasn't been considered." She hesitated, knowing what she was about to propose would sound like madness. "There's a facility in Antarctica, classified beyond top secret. Project Prometheus." The Joint Chiefs exchanged glances. Even at their level, few had heard more than whispers. "That project was mothballed 20 years ago," the chairman said. "Deemed too dangerous." "Not mothballed, sir. Buried." Maya met the president's eyes. And now might be the time to unearth it. The Antarctica facility was a relic of the Cold War, expanded in secret during the early 2020s when the first credible evidence of extraterrestrial intelligence had been detected. Hidden beneath 2 kilometers of ice, it housed the Prometheus Protocol, a contingency plan so radical that its very existence was considered a national security risk. 12 hours later, Maya stood in the facility's central chamber, accompanied by a hand-picked team, including Lieutenant Reeves and Dr. Eliza Wong, the world's foremost expert on theoretical xenotechnology. The chamber was dominated by a spherical structure composed of interlocking metal panels inscribed with mathematical equations and symbols no human had created. It was found in 2018, buried under the ice, Dr. Wong explained, running her hand over the cool metal surface. Carbon dating puts it at roughly 10,000 years old, but the technology is, well, it shouldn't exist. And we still don't know who built it. Reeves asked. We have theories, Wong replied, but no concrete answers. What we do know is that it's designed to interface with human neural patterns, and it contains information. Maya approached the sphere. Information about what? About them, the Ezrathi, and others. It's as if someone left us an instruction manual for surviving first contact, including specific defense protocols. Why wasn't this activated when the ships first appeared? Maya demanded. Dr. Wong looked uncomfortable. Because the last time we partially activated it in 2029, it caused a global communications blackout for 17 minutes. The political fallout was severe. The project was classified beyond black and access restricted to a theoretical doomsday scenario. I'd say we've reached that scenario, Maya said grimly. Her secure comm unit chimed, another message from Washington. The Ezrathi had begun systematically disabling military installations around the world. No casualties yet, but their precision strikes had neutralized nuclear launch capabilities in 5 countries. Maya made her decision. Activated. Full protocol. Captain, we need presidential authorization for. We don't have time, Maya interrupted. And I doubt the Ezrathi are jamming our communications by coincidence. She turned to Dr. Wong. How do we activate it? The process was surprisingly simple. The sphere responded to direct neural interface, essentially human thought. Dr. Wong placed her hands on 2 indentations on the sphere's surface, and Maya did the same. Focus on the threat, Wong instructed. Visualize the Ezrathi ships. The protocol will respond to the specific danger. Maya closed her eyes and concentrated. For several seconds, nothing happened. Then the sphere began to warm beneath her palms. The symbols etched into its surface illuminated one by one, creating complex patterns that spiraled across the entire structure. A low humming filled the chamber, resonating at a frequency that made her teeth vibrate. It's working, Dr. Wong whispered. Suddenly, Maya's consciousness expanded. Information flooded her mind, not in words or images, but in pure concept. Knowledge implanted directly. She understood immediately what the Prometheus Protocol was, who had created it, and why. The sphere wasn't just a database or a weapon. It was a key to Earth itself. As Maya and Dr. Wong maintained contact with the sphere, its energy signature grew stronger. The facility's instruments registered massive power fluctuations across the planet. Deep beneath the oceans, in the mantle of the Earth, within mountain ranges on every continent, ancient mechanisms began to awaken. Lieutenant Reeves monitored the global situation through their secure channels. Captain, something's happening worldwide. Seismic activity on all continents, but contained, almost artificial. And the Ezrathi ships. They're changing position. In orbit, the alien vessels had indeed broken formation. Their perfect symmetry disrupted as they detected something unexpected. Deep within the flagship, Ezrathi Commander Thraz observed the anomalous energy readings emanating from Earth with growing concern. Impossible, he murmured in his native tongue. They cannot have this technology. This planet was thoroughly surveyed. They were primitive, unaware. His second-in-command, Vex, approached. "Perhaps our intelligence was flawed, Commander. These readings match those of a Class 9 civilization, not the Class 3 we expected." Thraz's 4 eyes narrowed. The Ezrathi Collective had conquered 17 worlds in the past cycle, all following the same protocol. Intimidate, demand surrender, integrate or eliminate. It was efficient, economical, and had never failed. Until now. "Launch the preliminary strike," Thraz ordered. "Target their polar regions first. Destroy whatever is generating these readings." On Earth, Maya suddenly staggered back from the sphere, her eyes wide. "They're attacking Antarctica. Now." As if in response, the sphere pulsed. The chamber filled with blinding light, and Maya felt the entire facility shift. The ice groaned around them, but rather than feeling like the precursor to a collapse, it felt intentional. "What's happening?" Reeves demanded. Dr. Wong stared at her instruments in disbelief. "The facility is moving." "No, the ice shelf itself is moving." Above them, the Ezrathi weapon reached the atmosphere. A beam of concentrated energy powerful enough to split a continent aimed directly at their location. It pierced the clouds, the sky itself seeming to tear open as the destructive force descended. But it never reached its target. The beam struck a previously invisible shield that flared brilliant blue upon impact. The energy dissipated harmlessly across the barrier, which seemed to encompass the entire Antarctic region. In the facility, Maya watched through satellite imagery as similar shields activated across the planet. Over the Mariana Trench, the Himalayas, the Amazon Basin, and dozens of other locations. "Earth has defenses," she breathed. "Planetary-scale defenses that have been dormant for millennia." Lieutenant Reeves shook his head in amazement. "But who built them? Who would have the technology and foresight to?" "We did," Maya interrupted. "Not modern humans, but our ancestors. The information in my mind, it's incredible. There was an ancient human civilization, far more advanced than we ever imagined. They left these systems in place, then deliberately regressed, hiding their technology for future generations. But why? Because they knew the Ezrathi would come eventually. They've done this before, traveled the galaxy, subjugating worlds. But they follow patterns, protocols. They don't expect resistance from primitive species. Above them, the Ezrathi fleet regrouped. Their initial strike had failed, but they had yet to employ their full arsenal. Thraz ordered a comprehensive scan of Earth's newly revealed defense system. "This changes nothing," he insisted to his officers. "We have conquered worlds with similar defenses before. Prepare the sundering array." On Earth, governments worldwide reported the spontaneous activation of unknown structures within their territories. The president contacted Maya through a secure quantum channel unaffected by the Ezrathi jamming. "Captain Chen, what exactly have you activated?" "Not just a defense system, sir," Maya replied, feeling the weight of millennia of hidden knowledge. "A statement. Earth was never defenseless. We just forgot our strength." As the Ezrathi prepared their next attack, Maya understood that the real battle was just beginning. The Prometheus Protocol hadn't just awakened Earth's defenses, it had awakened humanity's true potential. And the galaxy was about to learn that Earth would not surrender. Above the planet, the Ezrathi fleet moved into attack formation, their massive ships realigning for a coordinated strike. They had conquered countless worlds before, and Earth would be no different. Or so they thought. Humanity remembers. The Ezrathi Sundering Array was legend among conquered worlds, a weapons platform capable of fracturing planetary crusts. As the 7 ships moved into precise formation, bands of energy began to flow between them, forming an intricate geometric pattern. In the Antarctic facility, alarms blared. Dr. Wong's face paled as she interpreted the incoming data. "They're preparing something massive. Energy readings off the charts." Maya's mind, still processing the information from the Prometheus Protocol, suddenly provided an answer. Not in words, but in pure understanding. Her hands flew across the control interface that had materialized from the sphere. "We need to activate the Meridian Network," she said with absolute certainty. "The what?" Lieutenant Reeves asked. "Ancient energy conduits that run through Earth's magnetic field lines," Maya explained, her fingers tracing complex patterns she somehow knew by instinct. "They can redirect energy, even energy on the scale the Ezrathi are generating." The interface responded to her touch. Across the planet, dormant systems hummed to life. In orbit, the Ezrathi weapons reached full charge. Commander Thraz gave the order to fire. 7 beams of concentrated energy converged at a single point before directing downward toward Earth's surface. The combined force could have split the planet in two. Instead, something unexpected happened. As the energy beam struck Earth's atmosphere, ribbons of light erupted from key points around the globe. The Mariana Trench, Uluru in Australia, the peak of Kilimanjaro, and dozens of other locations. These ribbons met the incoming energy, not blocking it but channeling it, redirecting it through Earth's own magnetic field lines. The Ezrathi watched in disbelief as their attack was absorbed, channeled, and then, impossibly, reflected back into space in a controlled burst that narrowly missed their fleet. "Impossible," Thraz whispered. "No Class 3 civilization could possess such technology." His tactical officer, visibly shaken, reported, "Commander, we're detecting new signals. Beyond Earth's orbit, we're being observed." Beyond the human-Ezrathi confrontation, hidden in the shadow of Jupiter, a gathering was taking place. Ships of various designs, some organic-looking, others geometric, some barely visible to conventional sensors, had assembled. The Galactic Council, representatives of the 27 most advanced civilizations in the Milky Way, watched with growing interest. Counselor Zinra, an entity of pure energy contained within a crystalline vessel, addressed the assembly. "The human response exceeds all projections. They have accessed the legacy systems far sooner than anticipated." "Is intervention necessary?" asked another counselor, a being composed of living metal. "Not yet," Zinra replied. "This is, after all, a test. Let us see how they proceed." Back on Earth, Maya felt a sudden expansion of awareness. The Prometheus Protocol was revealing more, not just about Earth's defenses, but about humanity's place in the galaxy. Images, concepts, histories flooded her consciousness. She saw Earth as it once was, 10,000 years ago, a world of advanced technology and cosmic awareness. She saw the decision to hide that technology, to allow humanity to evolve naturally, protected by dormant systems that would awaken only when needed. And she saw why. "It's a test," she gasped, looking up at Dr. Wong and Lieutenant Reeves. "The Ezrathi, they're not just conquerors. They're filters." "Filters?" Reeves looked confused. "Species evaluators," Maya explained, the knowledge crystallizing in her mind. "They travel the galaxy challenging emerging civilizations. Those who surrender are deemed unworthy of advancement. Those who fight conventionally are evaluated on their potential. But those who surprise them, those who demonstrate innovation beyond expectation, they're the ones being watched by something larger." "Watched by whom?" Dr. Wong asked. Before Maya could answer, the facility's communication system activated. A secure channel opened directly to the President and Joint Chiefs. "Captain Chen." The President's voice was tense. "The alien fleet is regrouping. Our conventional forces remain ineffective, but your activation has at least bought us time. What's our next move?" Maya took a deep breath. What she was about to propose defied conventional military strategy. "Sir, I believe we should demonstrate something uniquely human. Not just our defenses, but our creativity." The President was silent for a moment. "Explain." "The Prometheus Protocol isn't just showing us how to fight back. It's showing us why we're fighting. This isn't just about survival. It's about proving ourselves worthy of something greater." In orbit, Commander Thraz faced a crisis. The sundering array had failed, a contingency the Azrathi had never prepared for. Their standard protocols for planetary subjugation had been rendered obsolete by Earth's unexpected resistance. "Prepare all vessels for direct engagement," he ordered. "We will descend to low orbit and deploy the ground forces." His second-in-command, Vex, hesitated. "Commander, this exceeds our mandate. The humans have already demonstrated Class 9 capabilities. Protocol dictates we should." "I know the protocol," Thraz snapped. "But this world was designated for integration. That designation has not changed." What Thraz didn't reveal to his officers was the private communication he had received from his superiors, a simple message that translated roughly to "complete the assessment at any cost." The Azrathi Collective had been performing these evaluations for millennia, but something about Earth had drawn special attention. As the Azrathi fleet began its descent toward Earth's atmosphere, humanity prepared its response. The president had approved Maya's unorthodox plan, despite objections from his military advisors. It wasn't a plan of attack, but a demonstration. Maya stood now in the heart of the Antarctic facility, connected directly to the global defense network through the Prometheus interface. Lieutenant Reeves monitored the approaching Azrathi vessels. "They'll be within atmosphere in 3 minutes," he reported. Maya nodded. "Activate the harmony sequence." Dr. Wong, who had been studying the ancient systems, looked up in surprise. "That's not a weapons program. It's a communication protocol." "Exactly," Maya confirmed. "We're not going to fight them. Not directly. We're going to show them something they've never seen before." The harmony sequence initiated. Across the planet, the awakened defense systems synchronized. But instead of preparing weapons, they began emitting complex patterns of energy, modulated, precise, forming intricate geometric shapes in the atmosphere visible from space. The Azrathi ships slowed their descent, sensors detecting the unusual energy patterns. Within his command center, Thraz studied the readings with confusion. "What is this? Some form of attack?" His science officer analyzed the patterns. "Not an attack, Commander. It appears to be information. They're communicating, but not with us. The signal is directed outward, beyond our fleet." Indeed, the energy patterns extending from Earth were aimed toward Jupiter, where the hidden Galactic Council observed with growing interest. "Remarkable," Counselor Zinra noted. "They've not only accessed their legacy systems but understood their true purpose. The humans are reaching out." The information being transmitted wasn't simply a message. It was humanity's story. In complex mathematical equations and universally understood scientific principles, Earth was showing its journey. From primitive beginnings to current civilization, the transmission detailed human art, music, science, philosophy, and most importantly, potential. The Azrathi fleet halted its advance, suspended in Earth's upper atmosphere. Commander Thraz received new orders from his superiors. "Hold position. Observe only." In the Antarctic facility, Maya felt another presence in her consciousness, not invasive, but observing. The Prometheus protocol had connected her to something vaster than she had imagined. "They're watching us," she whispered. "Not just the Azrathi, but others. Many others." The presence in her mind conveyed understanding, then offered a choice. Maya saw 2 potential futures unfold before her, one where Earth remained isolated, protected but alone in the galaxy, and another where humanity stepped onto a much larger stage, with all its opportunities and dangers. "What is it?" Dr. Wong asked, seeing Maya's expression change. "We're being invited to join something," Maya replied. "A community of civilizations, but the decision must be unanimous." Through the global networks, Maya's consciousness reached out to key individuals worldwide. Political leaders, scientists, philosophers, artists, sharing what she had learned. The Azrathi had never been the true threat. They were merely the gatekeepers, testing Earth's readiness for a much greater revelation. In orbit, the Azrathi fleet began withdrawing. Their role in this assessment was complete. Commander Thraz watched Earth recede through his viewport, a complex mix of emotions stirring within him. "You knew this would happen," he said to a previously silent figure who had observed the entire operation, a representative of the Galactic Council who had traveled aboard the Izrathi flagship. "We suspected," the observer replied. Its form shifted constantly, never settling on a single appearance. The human world showed signs. Their art, their dreams, their constant reaching beyond their limits, all indications of a species remembering its heritage, rather than discovering it anew. Then the test was never about their defenses, Thraz realized. No, it was about how they would choose to use them. On Earth, governments worldwide reported a strange phenomenon. People everywhere experiencing sudden flashes of insight, glimpses of a forgotten history, and a question posed not in words, but in pure concept. Are we ready to remember who we once were? The response came not as a formal decision by world leaders, but as a collective human choice. Across the planet, individuals reached the same conclusion in their own way. Yes, humanity was ready. In the Antarctic facility, Maya felt the convergence of billions of human minds arriving at this shared understanding. The Prometheus Protocol responded, expanding its connection beyond the defense systems to dormant technologies hidden in every corner of the planet. "It's happening," Dr. Wong breathed, watching her instruments record energy signatures appearing worldwide. Ancient cities hidden beneath oceans began to rise. Dormant technologies activated in mountain ranges, deserts, and ice caps. Knowledge buried for millennia flowed back into human consciousness, not all at once, which would have been overwhelming, but gradually, proportionate to humanity's ability to understand and use it responsibly. Near Jupiter, the Galactic Council witnessed Earth's transformation with approval. The 27th seat in their circle, long left vacant, would soon be filled again. "They have remembered themselves sooner than predicted," one counselor noted. "Perhaps they never truly forgot," Zinra suggested. "The test is complete. Earth has demonstrated not just resistance to conquest, but the wisdom to choose understanding over conflict when given the opportunity." As the Izrathi fleet departed the solar system, a new vessel approached Earth. Unlike the intimidating Izrathi ships, this craft was elegant, its design blending seamlessly with the fabric of space itself. It transmitted a simple message to all of humanity. "Welcome back to the stars. We have been waiting." In the Antarctic facility, Maya disconnected from the Prometheus interface. The knowledge remained with her, but the overwhelming connection had subsided to manageable levels. Lieutenant Reeves helped her to her feet. "What happens now?" he asked. Maya looked up at the displays showing the transformed Earth, ancient technologies harmoniously integrating with modern human society, dormant systems awakening to their original purpose. "Now," she said with quiet certainty, "we remember who we really are, and the galaxy will never be the same." The president's voice came through the communication system. "Captain Chen, we're receiving a diplomatic transmission from..." Well, they identify themselves as the Galactic Council. They're requesting Earth send a representative. They specifically asked for you. Maya exchanged glances with Dr. Wong and Lieutenant Reeves. The knowledge from the Prometheus Protocol told her this was not just an invitation for herself, but for all of humanity to reclaim its place among the stars, to remember its ancient legacy, and to shape the future of the galaxy. "Tell them Earth accepts," she replied. As night fell across the planet, people everywhere stepped outside to look up at the stars. For the first time in 10,000 years, they saw not just distant points of light, but potential destinations. Humanity had been caught off guard by the Izrathi arrival, but their response had changed everything. Earth wasn't just defending itself, it was remembering itself. And the galaxy had taken notice. In the depths of space, beyond even the Galactic Council's observation, other intelligences stirred, some curious, some concerned. Humanity's reawakening would inevitably shift the cosmic balance. The test was complete, but the true journey was just beginning. And it would be a journey that would shake the very foundations of the galaxy.